to our discussion, if you remember, the average duration of unemployment due to the experience in the United States of America, the duration is some weeks. So the maximum amount during recession, it takes 20 weeks. So 20 divided by 4, it's around 5 months for a person to get another job. This is an averagely. Maybe somebody will take longer or shorter, but as an average, it takes as maximum 5 months. But during expansion, the duration will be less. This is in the United States of America. I expect the duration of unemployment in the United Arab Emirates, it's expected to be longer because our economy is not dynamic. It is a bit rigid because of labor laws, because of regulations, formalities to get residential visa, etc. And the technological progress is a lower rate in the United Arab Emirates comparative to the United States of America. For this reason, I expect the duration of being unemployed in the United Arab Emirates is somehow longer than in the United States of America. See here, there is a question in the end of the chapter, why some unemployment is inevitable. Inevitable mean cannot be avoided. If you remember last meeting yesterday, I told you that it's impossible for the unemployment rate to reach 0. That means there is a certain limit of a certain amount of unemployment. So to understand the effects, the negative effects of unemployment, we need to categorize the unemployment into 3 sections. Frictional unemployment, in Arabic البطالة الاحتكاكية. Structural unemployment, البطالة الهيكلية. Cyclical unemployment, البطالة الدورية. Let's take a definition for each one. Lana, please, could you read the frictional unemployment for me?
Yes, doctor.
Thanks, Lana.
Frictional unemployment, the portion of unemployment that is due to the normal working of the labor market, used to denote short-run job skill matching problems.
Okay, so in very easy way, what is a frictional unemployment? Assume Lana just graduated today. She got her certificate today. Do you think she will join? Let me show for myself the number of slides. Yes, I can see the number now. Okay. So assume Lana is just graduated today. She got her certificate today. Do you think she will get another job or she will get a job next day? Definitely no. She needs some time to get a job. During this period, she will be considered as unemployed because she's seeking a job. She applied for a job, so she's unemployed. She is frictionally unemployed. See here, when Lana graduated, she needs to write her CV to think which industry she's willing to work. Assume she decided to work in banking sector. She started to look for a job through newspapers. She didn't find anything. She started to search the website for local banks, and then suddenly she found a vacancy in the website of the First Abu Dhabi Bank. Barely, First Abu Dhabi Bank realized that somebody retired or left the job, and they have a vacancy. So they made a committee to consider or to determine the requirements. So they published their announcement, advertisement in their website. They received lots of CVs, one of them from Lana. They made a committee to distinguish between them. So they selected a couple of people to fill this vacancy. So they call Lana for interview. They call her for second interview. They told her, you need a training course before you join the job. We will offer for you a free training course in our academy. If you pass the training, the exam of the training course, you can join the your job or the bank. All this procedure takes, let's say, 6 months from graduation till the first day of work in First Abu Dhabi Bank. So during this period, Lana will be called frictionally unemployed. And this is necessary to improve the effectiveness of labor market. Do you know, assume the government enforce banks to appoint Lana and others without interviews, that will harm the effectiveness of financial banks, because in the end they will hire people without enough qualifications to fulfill certain jobs. So another kind of unemployment is called structural unemployment. Lana?
Structural unemployment, the portion of unemployment that is due to changes in the structure of the economy that result in a significant loss of jobs in certain industries.
Okay, so see here, we are talking about the structure of the economy. What's the meaning of structure of the economy? The importance of each sector, the importance as percentage of each sector. For example, telecommunication industry, its importance increased last 20 years. It was not such necessary as today. Some industries goes to death. For example, there is no more demand for black-white TV. There is a new demand for plasma TV. So people who works in black-white companies, they will lose their job. They will start looking for another jobs, but still they don't have enough qualifications to join plasma TV. So they need sort of training courses to be qualified to join developed industries. So always the technological progress leaves some people as unqualified. So can you imagine when I joined the United Arab Emirates in the first day, I found myself less developed. I came from Iraq, but I didn't use computers, programs in Iraq. So when I came here, the country made a progress in using computers everywhere. So I couldn't get a job till I went to take a training course to improve my skills in using computers. So during this period, I was structurally unemployed because of lack of qualifications. So due to a change in structure of the economy and technological progress, some people will be structurally unemployed, and that's good. And do you know the government cannot enforce companies to hire people without necessary qualifications for developed, advanced industries. That will stop, will harm the progress in these industries. So there is no way just to encourage other people to improve their qualifications to join developed industries. So see here, frictional and structural unemployment is always existed, even with good performance of the whole economy. The first one, frictional unemployment, due to normal working of labor market, and structural unemployment is existed due to structural change and technological progress. And that happens every day. So for this reason, unemployment is inevitable, cannot be avoided to reach zero unemployment rate. So even under good performance of the economy, there is a job skill matching problem, and there is technological advances. So leads to some people to be unemployed. The sum of them are called natural rate of unemployment. Okay, so what is natural rate of unemployment? معدل البطالة الطبيعي. It is a sum of frictional and structural unemployment. And this kind, natural rate of unemployment, is existed due to normal working of the whole economy, market, labor market, and technological progress. So we expect under good circumstances, there is a minimum level of unemployment, which is called natural rate of unemployment, let's say 3%. So always there is a 3% unemployment, even the economy is in a good condition. The dangerous one is called cyclical unemployment. The dangerous one is called cyclical unemployment. Yusuf, could you hear me? So Yusuf is absent. Alia Hassan?
Yes, doctor.
Alia, please, cyclical unemployment.
The increase in unemployment that occurs during recessions and depressions.
Okay, so during recession or even depression, which is stronger recession, the unemployment will increase. The additional unemployment is called cyclical unemployment. So see here, I lost my job in Al Ain in June 2020, not because of a frictional. What's the reason for me to lose my job? Because of the coronavirus pandemic, because of a decrease in aggregate demand. So I became cyclically unemployed, not frictionally unemployed or structurally unemployed. I became cyclically unemployed. So suddenly I got another job in Skyline. I didn't need to improve my qualifications during the period of being unemployed, because the reason is not frictional or structural. The reason is because of the business cycle, because the decline in the level of economic activity. So if we got cyclical unemployment, the government should use fiscal and monetary policies to stimulate the level of economic activities. The business sector will react by increasing output and hiring more people. The unemployment rate will decrease. So now it's time. I feel happy when I see this part. It is a time for numerical problem solving exercises. Let's go to this Word file, which is already existed in so just click on unemployment, it will lead you here. So now we have one question about chapter 3 unemployment. So all these questions are important to the coming exams. So try to understand them. So Raja, could you hear me?
Yes, doctor.
Are you Raja?
Yes.
Okay, read 3.1 for me, scenario.
Scenario, the nation of Arabs
has population of 3 million
citizens
in 2007. The labor force participation rate is 75%. The number of
Arabesian
with jobs is 1,500,000. Answer part A through H using the information in the scenario. A. Calculate the number in the labor force.
Okay, thank you, Raja. Well done. But Raja, you will read other points when I call your name. Okay?
Inshallah, Doctor.
Be ready. Okay. So now let's understand this question. We have the population 3 million. The population 3 million. So when you answer the question, write 3 with 6 zeros. Don't write only 3 million. I prefer to put 6 zeros. This is 3 million. We have other information. Labor force participation rate is 75%. When you 75% in the calculation, say 75 divided by 100, it will be 0.75. So again, when you use this percentage, 75%, in the answer, say 75 divided by 100 equals 0.75. So don't write 75, write 0.75. Okay. This number, the number of people with jobs, that means this is employed. This is employed, which is part of labor force. So now, how to calculate the number of people who are in the labor force? We need to refer to labor force participation rate. Labor force participation rate equals labor force divided by population. Labor force divided by population. So now the missing is labor force. The missing is labor force. So labor force equals participation rate times population. For this reason, I wrote the second equation. Labor force equals participation rate times population. What is population rate? 0.75, which is 75 divided by 100. What is the population? 3 million. So it is equal 2,250,000 persons. This is the labor force. See here, to understand your answer is correct, the result, which is labor force, should be less than the population. Do you know, I remember some of the mistakes occurred by students. They wrote here 75. So labor force will be so many double than the population, which is totally wrong.
Doctor, sorry
Raja?
for interrupting, but we cannot see your slides.
Can you see the I'm opening Word file. Can you see the Word file?
No, Doctor.
Calculations?
Yes.
Yes.
Let me check. Raja, read B. Raja, could you read B? Farhana, could you read B?
Yes, doctor.
It seems Raja, her mic not working because she's opening the mic, but something happened. See?
Oh, okay. Farhana, B.
Calculate the number of unemployed workers.
Okay.
Labor.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
so now there, the Word file is open. Everybody can see it. So you have a problem. You have a problem. So try to fix it. Okay.
I left the call and then I joined, Doctor. Now it's working.
Okay, good. So now we need to calculate the number of unemployed persons. So go to the formula, simple formula, labor force equals employed plus unemployed. So unemployed equals labor force minus employed. So unemployed equals labor force minus employed. Labor force we calculated here, 2 million and something. What is employed? The employed in the question here, 1.5 million, 1.5 million. So this is the number of unemployed. So see here, population 3 million, labor force is less 2 million and something, employed is less than labor force 1 million and something, unemployed is less than the number of employed, less than 1 million. So see here, there is a gradual in the level of numbers to be sure your answer is correct. But if suddenly the number is jump up, for example, the number of employed 7 million, so get a notice, get alarm, your answer is wrong. Okay. Farhana C.
Yes, doctor.
C.
Calculate the unemployment rate.
Okay, this is the equation of unemployment rate. Unemployed divided by labor force times 100. So we calculated the number of unemployed, 750,000. We also calculated the labor force, 2,250,000. So times 100, it is around 33%. Let's go to Farhana D.
Arbis has determined that the natural rate of unemployment is 6%. Calculate the cyclical unemployment rate.
Okay, so see here, unemployment in general includes three types of unemployment: frictional, structural, cyclical. The first two comes under natural rate of unemployment. So unemployment in general equals natural rate of unemployment and cyclical unemployment. So what is cyclical unemployment rate? Equals the unemployment rate we just calculated, 33%. And here it is given natural rate of unemployment is 6%. So cyclical unemployment rate is 27%. Okay, Farhana E.
How many cyclically unemployment workers are there?
Okay, how many cyclically unemployed? Cyclically unemployed. Cyclically unemployed equals cyclical unemployment rate times labor force. Why? Times labor. I don't know why students, they didn't put here labor force, because when we calculate unemployment rate as a percentage to labor force, always as a percentage, whatever the sort of unemployment, it is a percentage to labor force. So here, cyclical unemployment rate, we calculated 27%. When we put the percentage into calculation, put this number divided by 100. So it is 0.273. So let me, I don't know whether I can see my calculator. So 27.3 divided by 100, see, 0.273. I don't, yes, okay. So this is cyclical unemployment rate. This is labor force. So the result will be cyclically unemployed. See here, the number of unemployed, 750,000, but cyclically unemployed is less than. The rest due to natural rate of unemployment. Let's go to F with Farhane.
The Arbazini economy moves out of long recession, job openings increase, and 100,000 discouraged workers become encouraged and begin searching for a job. Calculate the new unemployment rate.
So see here, since the economy enters into expansion, some discouraged worker started looking for a job. Just when they decided looking for a job, we used to consider discouraged worker as out of labor force because they are not looking for a job. When they decide looking for a job, we have to add them to the number of unemployed and to the labor force. So if you remember, the number of unemployed, as we calculated before, 750,000. So now add 100,000. So 100 plus 750, it will be 850. This is the number of unemployed. Let's go to labor force. Labor force, before considering discouraged worker, it was 2,250,000. Now, when 100 discouraged started looking for a job, we have to add them to the number of labor force. It becomes 2,250,000 plus 100. So it will be 2,350,000. So the unemployment rate should be increased than we calculated before 33. So we finished till now. This is a question number 3.2. This is another question. Just I changed the numbers here. I just changed the number here, and I gave you the key answer for your practice. So please try to practice whether you can get this result or not. So in the exam, similar questions, you will see it. So do you have any question till this moment?
No, doctor.
Doctor?
So, yes?
For exam, you have to memorize all these formulas?
See here, you have to, we have two options. In case we have online exam, so all the materials are available with you. Print them out and put them in front of you. This is one option. But for a final exam, it's expected to be on campus. So you need to remember these formulas. So if you remember, when we take this chapter, I told you we have these two equations: labor force equals employed plus unemployed, population equal labor force plus not in the labor force, and we have two equations for unemployment rate and participation rate. Both of them are easy. When I say unemployment rate, unemployed as percentage to labor force participation rate, labor force divided by population. So
In addition to economic hardship, prolonged employment may also bring with it social and personal allies. Anxiety, depression, deterioration of physical and psychological health, drug abuse, including alcoholism and suicides.
So well done, Muhammad Arif. See here,
Thank you, Doctor.
there are negative effects of unemployment. The first part, economic hardship. What is the economic hardship? So if the unemployment rate is 10%, that means we lost producing 10% of output. Those unemployed people could produce this level of output. So due to 10% unemployment, we will lose part of potential output. And that may continue to the coming months or to the coming years if the unemployment rate continues over next year. So as output decreases, income per capita will decrease, investment will decrease, the country will be poorer, investment will decrease because there is no enough demand for goods and services, and that will push the economy into further recession. So this is the economic results of unemployment. There is also social consequences, social effects of the unemployment. It brings social problems, such as an increase in the number of crimes, and personal ills or personal problems, such as anxiety. People will start feeling worried, depression. People will feel upset, depressed, disappointed. Unemployment will deteriorate, will damage our physical health because we cannot eat well, we cannot go to take medical care properly. It also will deteriorate or damage our psychological health. We will feel nervous. Maybe the number of divorce will increase. Some people will use drug or alcohol, and we will notice a couple of cases goes to suicide. So what is the effects of coronavirus? What's the effect of unemployment during coronavirus pandemic in the United Arab Emirates? All what I said, it's clear, especially if we consider demand for aggregate output decreases, some companies shut down, some companies, especially small businesses, announce their bankruptcy. The decrease in demand especially attacks aviation or flight companies, hotels, restaurants, cosmetics, accessories, malls, so retail stores. All these companies fire their people and lose part of their profit. So this is a result of unemployment. Those who are unemployed right now, they started to struggle to legalize our situation to keep their residential visa, and some families couldn't get proper medical care or to pay for rent and education fees. So unemployment is harmful for every country, for any country. For this reason, the government started immediately to implement stimulus to encourage the level of economic activities, to decrease the level of unemployment. There are some benefits of unemployment. There are some benefits of the recession. I will consider two reasons. The first one, when aggregate demand decreases, the inflation rate may decrease from, for example, 11 to 5. So because the pressure on the resources will be less, there is no excuse to increase the prices of goods and services. And also, the recession will free resources, labor and capital, from poor managers. So these resources will be used later during expansion by effective managers. So the country or the economy will clean themselves, will clean. So it will innovate, will renew the life of our economy, because we will move weak managers from controlling resources and bring new effective managers. This is some positive sides. So as you see here, I kept here some essay questions for your review. Mostly I answer these questions when I explain the chapters. So when the matter comes to the coming exams, focus on these discussion questions and the calculation questions which I answer it. During the exam, use your own English, enhance your answer with examples. So just let's read the questions. I will not read the answer. Yusuf?
Yes, doctor.
Read this question. Why might
A certain amount of fractional employment improve the efficiency of labor markets?
Okay, so certain amount of frictional unemployment improve the efficiency of labor market, because we will let companies to look for qualified people. If we don't enforce them to appoint people with lack of qualifications. Thank you, Yusuf. Ahmed Jassim?
Doctor, sorry, but because I am sick and I'm outside, that's why.
Okay. Munira? Muna Shamsi?
نعم دكتور.
What's your name?
منى دكتور.
Muna, read this question.
Explain why some unemployment is unpreventable. How can unemployment actually benefit the economy?
Okay, so we answer this question. Some unemployment cannot be avoided, such as frictional and structural. How it can benefit the economy? Because it will improve the effectiveness of labor market, and we will allow for further advances in technology. Otherwise, we will make our economy more rigid. And this question, what is the effect of unemployment on our life during coronavirus pandemic? I already explained this question.